We're at the Ottawa Senators and Carolina Hurricanes game. You're watching Post to Post.
Hello and welcome to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. And I started the report card series with Montreal, my favorite team, first. I thought I'd do Ottawa next because they have kind of had a similar season to Montreal. They had success last year, Ottawa more so than Montreal, and they've really both fallen off the rails this year. So Ottawa, to me, felt like a good choice for the second video that I made. If you haven't seen the Montreal Canadiens one, please go watch that. If you have any interest on hearing my thoughts on my favorite team and how they did this year. Now, in that video, and in this video, I'm going to say the season's not over. Some of the statistics that I'm going to run through in this video will change slightly by the end of the year. If you're watching this a month after the playoffs or in the middle of the summer for some reason, the statistics will be a little bit different. I think Ottawa has at least 2 games left, maybe 3. They play tomorrow night against Buffalo. I'm filming this on a Tuesday, so the reason I'm filming these before the season ends is because I'm doing a video on every single team and also the 8 playoff series, and I have to do those all before the playoffs start. So that's 23 videos. I want to try and get them done as quickly as possible this week. I only have a week to do it, and I don't have time to do them season ends Sunday. Playoffs start as early as Wednesday. I can't do 23 videos in 3 days, so I got to start with these ones now. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to compare last season to this season. So on this side of the screen, you'll see their statistics from last year, and then on this side of the screen, you'll see the statistics from this year. And we're going to compare. We're going to look at them. We're going to see how well they did, how well they didn't do in Ottawa's case. Things marked in red will mean that they've done poorly or worse than this year than last year. And anything green, they've done better. Fair warning, there's a lot more red than green for the Ottawa Senators, like Montreal. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I'm just going to jump into this. So all kinds of categories here. If you looked at league rank, they were 12th last year, and they were 30th this year. That's a pretty insane drop. So obviously worse this year than last year. Points, 98 last year, 65 this year. Not good. Goals for, 206 last year, 213 this year. That's a check mark. That's a green statistic. Goals for rank, 22nd last year, 25th this year. So even though they scored more goals this year than last year, they're still ranked lower compared to the rest of the league. Goals against, 210 last year, 273 this year. Wow. Goals against rank, they were 10th last year. They're 30th this year, basically last in the league. Last year, their differential was -2. This year, it's -65. Erik Karlsson. Differential rank last year was 18th. This year, it's 30th. They love that 30th spot. Power play percentage, last year 17. This year, 17.1. Check mark. Beating their previous power play percentage by 0.1%. I'll take it. Power play rank, 24th last year, 25th this year. So that's a red. Penalty kill percentage last year, 79.7. This year, 75.7. That's a 4% drop. That's pretty significant as far as year-to-year changes on special teams. Penalty kill rank, 22nd last year, 28th this year. Shots per game, 30th last year, 30.6 this year. That's not really a stat that should be greened or red. It's just, I'm going to green it just because they get more shots. I guess that's good, but don't take too much weight with it. Shots per game rank, they were 17th last year, 24th this year. Shots against per game, 30.1 last year, 33.2 this year. So they're letting teams get 3 extra shots per game basically this year. Shots against per game rank, 15th last year, 25th this year. Face-off percentage, 51% last year, 50.4% this year. 10th, they were ranked 10th in face-offs last year, and 13th this year. So face-offs actually not too bad, above the league average, which is good. If we move over to the players, if we want to look at, okay, who's performing and who's more importantly not performing. So I'm going to start with the top point getter down to the bottom. I don't have all the players listed here, but I have more than half of the team. So Stone with 62 points, tied with Karlsson, who also has 62 points. Like I said at the beginning, some of these statistics will change if you're watching this after the season has ended, but it's basically going to be the same. My comments are going to be the same regardless of when this is filmed, so that's why I'm filming it now. Next on the list is Hoffman with 56 points. Duchesne has 47, Dzingel 37, Ryan 33, Pajot 29, Chabot 25, Pyatt 22, Ceci 19, and Smith 19. Just a note, Stone has 62 points. He's only played 58 games, so his point per game average is way up there. Karlsson, not surprised to see him. He's having an off year and he still has 62 points. It's as unfortunate as he's playing this year, coming off of an injury. 62 points, I feel like you have to be pretty pleased with that regardless. Pajot was basically invisible. He was such a force last year. I mean, Ottawa was one goal away from going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Pajot was a crucial part of that playoff run, and has basically been invisible this year, and he hasn't been injured to my knowledge. If we move on to goaltending, Anderson and Condon have not played well this season. Anderson has played 56 games. He has 22 wins, 24 losses. His goals against average is 3.33. Ooh. Save percentage 8.98. If we move over to Condon, he's played 31 games, 5 wins, 17 losses, 3.25 goals against average, .902 save percentage. So those aren't great numbers for either goalie. They have not had strong goaltending this year, unfortunately. To finish off this video, I have certain I call them talking points. They're just things that I think played a significant, was a significant story in this entire season for Ottawa. So Karlsson is the first thing I have on here. Karlsson, as we all know, or most of us know, suffered an injury last year. He played through it in the playoffs. He tried to get healthy in the offseason. He did. I don't think he was 100% when he came back this year. You could tell it in his stride. He wasn't as fast. He wasn't pinching as much as he usually does. He wasn't taking those risks. And I hope that wherever he goes, if he stays in Ottawa or if he goes somewhere else, I hope that his health comes back to him, because if he's injured, or I know he's not declaring that he's injured or still recovering, but I feel like he is. If he can still put up 62 points, if he can get back to 100%, wow. That would be awesome for wherever he lands, for whatever team. Next is the Melnyk drama. Oh my goodness. That man does not know when to keep his mouth closed with the media. He's caused so much controversy surrounding this organization. I really feel like it's been a distraction to the players, to the coaches, to the management, to the fans, more importantly, and to him. So it sucks to see him. It's almost like he's doing it on purpose to try and start drama or start controversy. It's really frustrating. The Turris Duchesne trade was a huge talking point, this year. Everyone knew Duchesne was going to get traded eventually. I don't think they thought it was going to be for Turris or to Ottawa. So that took some people by surprise there. Now, if we look at the numbers comparing Turris and Duchesne, they're actually pretty similar. I don't think Ottawa's season would have gone any differently if that trade hadn't have happened. So I don't see that as being a crucial impact. I think it's more of a long-term impact than a short-term impact. Anyway, it was a big talking point this year. The Karlsson trade rumors, just recently, in the trade deadline, he thought he might be going somewhere. His teammates thought he might be going somewhere. Everyone who was watching thought he might be going somewhere. A group of us was hoping he would go somewhere so we'd have something to talk about. He didn't. I felt like that was a distraction to everyone, the fans, the organization, and more specifically him and his family. Inconsistent goaltending, I guess I've already kind of talked about that a little bit. The goaltending has been incredibly inconsistent. Anderson has looked amazing some games just not at all. The loss of Mathot is another thing I have written down here. They lost him in the expansion draft. He went to Vegas, and then Vegas traded him to Dallas, and he played such a crucial role in not only seasonally for Ottawa last year, but more specifically in the playoffs. He was amazing. Karlsson was a defensive liability. It's not all about plus minus, but he was a minus 25 in every single Ottawa game I watched this season, which was about 20 to 25 games, I guess. I watch Ottawa more so than the majority of other teams. I watch, obviously, a lot of Montreal, a lot of Ottawa, a lot of Toronto, a lot of these Eastern teams. It's hard for me to watch the Western teams as much as I do the Eastern teams. But every game I watched, Karlsson was giving away the puck constantly. It was very frustrating. Maybe that's injury issues. I'm not sure. But Burroughs was a distraction. He got suspended. He wasn't contributing offensively. He was a complete distraction. Please just Ottawa. I can't remember what his contract is. I think this is his last year. If it is, please don't resign him. Just let him go somewhere else or do something, please. Chabot is one of the only bright lights I thought. Every time I watch Ottawa play, I'm really impressed with his patience for such a young kid, especially a defensive young kid. He has so much patience. He makes smart plays. Sometimes he makes mistakes. Everybody does. But I really like his patience. I think he's a total bright star for Ottawa moving forward. The arena situation, another distraction. Sorry, this is clumsy. The arena is in Canada. It's technically part of Ottawa, but the fans would prefer to see an arena in downtown Ottawa. I think it's coming. I'm not exactly sure if it's official, but it's definitely in the works. I think that'll be great for the city. If they get the arena, that'll pretty much secure the team there for a while, although Melnyk has dipped into the rumors of maybe moving it. But anyway, I have written down here preseason Hockeyville. So myself and Dad, or Dad and myself, proper grammar, we went to Hockeyville in Summerside for the preseason game, Ottawa versus New Jersey. It was an incredible experience. I loved it. I got to see a lot of the Ottawa players play. It was just a great time, and that kind of leads me into the next thing, which was the games in Sweden. They played Hockeyville in Summerside, then they went to Sweden around Christmas time, and they played Colorado twice over there. So there was a lot going on with Ottawa this year, off the ice, trades, arena drama, Melnyk drama, games in a little old island in Canada, games in Sweden. They were all over the place. So it was a very media-focused year for Ottawa this year, and I think it worked against them, to be honest. I think it was there was a lot of distractions here. Another thing I have written down here, the Phaneuf trade. That kind of took people by surprise as well. He went to LA. I think that Phaneuf, if you look at his career, he started with Calgary. I think he played 5 seasons. He was dynamite there. He was traded to Toronto. He played, I don't know, 6 or 7 seasons there. Didn't play as well. I felt like he was not used to his potential in Toronto. And then he went to Ottawa, and I felt like he really fit in Ottawa. I was kind of surprised that he was traded. I felt he had a really good year last year. He struggled a bit this year. He started out strong in LA. He's still struggling a little bit in LA. But that was a shocking trade, I think. But they got his contract off the books, although they are retaining some of his salary. I can't remember how much, 1.75 million or something like that. The last thing on this list is Karlsson. I've already talked about him like 5 times, but the last home game, which was, I think, last night, he very sneakily went to the net after the game was over, took the puck and put it in his pants. Is this a sign? Is this something that we can read into? Is he keeping that for sentimental purposes because he knows he's not going to be back as an Ottawa Senator? Or is he keeping it because he's just going to give it to the training staff as a keepsake for the organization? Is he going to give it to Melnyk as a peace offering or a goodbye present? I don't know. I'm not sure what he's going to do with it, but the cameras caught it. You can look it up on YouTube, on Google. I'm not going to read too much into it. I'm just going to let you know that it happened. Most of you probably already know that it did happen because I tweeted about it. If you follow me on Twitter, then you would have seen it. If you don't follow me on Twitter and you have Twitter, you should follow me on Twitter. That would be awesome. Anyway, Ottawa, as far as giving them a grade, like a report card grade, I think you have to give them an F. It wouldn't feel right giving them anything else than an F, considering the season that they had last year. If we're comparing season by season, this is an F season, and it sucks because I do like Ottawa. I don't like all the players in Ottawa, but I do like them. I would like them to see them have success. But yeah, that basically wraps up this video. This is the report card video. Buffalo's next. I'm going to film that next after this video. I'm going to do all the teams, so you don't have to comment and say, oh, I'll do New York next, do whoever next. Just they will all come in time, and very soon, actually, over the next 10 days. So I appreciate your patience. Hopefully you guys are watching lots of hockey as the season wraps up. Maybe your teams are in a playoff spot. If they are, congratulations, you're lucky. I cheer for Montreal, which means you know what that means. I don't have to explain to it. I'm not going to rant on Montreal anymore. This is an Ottawa video. Thanks, guys, for watching. I appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, I hope you can subscribe to catch all of the future report card videos on all the other teams. If you liked this video, please hit the like button down below. That helps us a lot. And I'll see you in the next one. Adios.